Okay, so just a quick update on the situation that is going on at the moment on GBP USD. We have a market that, from a weekly perspective, has created this very nice impulse to the downside and started a nice retracement. Now, if we want to measure the retracement, how are we supposed to be doing it? Taking our Fibonacci from the high to the low of the impulse. And what we can see that the market went for a clear test of the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement, which was lining up perfectly with this structure level. In fact, this area was acting as support here, again support here, broke to the downside, turned resistance, broke down, again resistance, the market broke it back to the upside, turned support, broke it back down, and then turned resistance. And here, what did we actually have? We had a confluence of resistance because we had the resistance coming from the 0.618 and the resistance coming from the structure resistance that we already had. So if you remember, that is exactly why from here we said we are monitoring price action with students for a nice move to the downside on GBP USD. And as you know, also from the YouTube video, we definitely capitalized on the move to the downside. And by the way, I will be linking that analysis in the description. But what is the situation at the moment and which opportunities there are to be capitalizing on GBP USD? Now, for that, at the moment, the situation is a little bit more complicated, but we can definitely break it down. We know that from a weekly perspective, this support is here. Okay, we have support here, the market broke it above, and we have again support here. And we would like to see the market go for one last push to the downside to grab the liquidity at this area, find the support, and reject this very strong demand area. Going back, one last thing that we have to check from a weekly perspective that I want to show you is that the market went for the clear test of the close here from a weekly perspective. This is a trick that you can use very often to spot the strongest structure levels. Go down on a line chart, and as you can see, the close here is here. And that is what you expect the market to go and test. And that is why the market stopped very, very, very close to the area. So what happened from a daily point of view? The market created this W formation, went almost to test the zone very, very, very close. Obviously, there are many, many short orders stacked at these areas. So the market aggressively rejected to the downside because that is what you expect after market creates a W formation, to make a strong move back down to the neckline. And you know that works over and over and over again. Now, how we will be approaching this kind of situation with students. We know that at the moment the market is currently at the neckline of the W formation from a daily perspective. And even though now it seems like the market is going to break it to the downside, the last close is above the structure. Again, you can use the same trick also here on the daily, and you will see that the last close that the market created, it respected the neckline. Okay, so the last daily close is above. Until we will see a clear daily close below this resistance, we won't be looking for any shorting opportunities. We know that we want to bring the price lower for one last move to the downside and then the move to the upside. But until then, we won't be looking for any opportunities. But if the market will actually manage to break back below the neckline, which at the moment we have no confirmation that the market will do, because from here the market can easily reverse and complete the impulse correction and impulse pattern to the upside. But if we will actually see a daily close below the area, then with students we will add GBP USD on watch list, and we will be monitoring price action from a 4-hour perspective, waiting for the market to provide to us one of our valid entries. And if the market will provide to us one of our valid entries, we will be taking a nice short position with a very good risk to reward and good probabilities for the market to make one last move to the downside. And then what kind of situation we will have? We will have a market that has created a nice overextended M formation, retesting the weekly structure support that we have already seen from a weekly point of view. And at that point, again, we will be monitoring price action from a 4-hour perspective, waiting for the market to provide to us one of our valid entries. And as soon as the market provides to us one of our valid entries, we'll be taking a nice long position with a very good risk to reward and a actually huge risk to reward and good probabilities for the market to reject that weekly support and give us a nice move to the upside. But that is a little bit premature. Obviously, we will have to see what kind of situation will be going on inside of this area from a 4-hour perspective if the market will approach it. At the moment, if the market will break, then we will be looking for potential shorts if our rules will be satisfied from a 4-hour perspective. Now, just one last check that we have to give what we have at the moment from a COT perspective. So what hedge funds are doing on GBP USD. If we go and see what kind of situation we have from a GBP USD perspective, as you know, all currencies on the spot are traded against the USD. And what we can see here is that with the last reports, hedge funds have added a lot of short positions, bringing net positions from the positive 35K that we have here all the way down to minus 18K that we have here. So from having longs outweighing shorts to having shorts greatly outweighing longs. So we can definitely expect more pound weakness. And that is why if the market will break, we will be looking for potential shorting opportunities. Now, if you enjoy this free analysis and education, make sure you drop a like and a comment. It really does support the creation of more free education and analysis for all of you. And I will see you in the next